The morning patrol had been routine until Sergeant Vexthor spotted the tracks. His four eyes narrowed as he crouched beside the impressions in the frost-covered ground outside the human settlements. Perimeter, small, delicate, unmistakable. The ancestors, he hissed in his native tongue, his translator unit clicking to life. Thrixian cub tracks. His squad members, 2 Calorthians and a Zephyrite, gathered around, their weapons raised instinctively. In the 5 years since humans had established Colony 7 on the planet Arcturus Prime, they'd maintained an uneasy peace with the native Thrixians. The massive bear-like predators were intelligent enough to avoid human settlements, and territorial enough to make any incursion deadly. But cub tracks? That changed everything. A mother Thrixian separated from her young was the most dangerous creature in the known galaxy. Follow the trail, Vexthor ordered, weapons hot. If there's a cub in the colony, he didn't need to finish. They all knew what it meant. The mother would come. She would tear through their defenses like paper. Hundreds could die. The tracks led deeper into the residential sector, weaving between the prefabricated homes that housed the colony's 3,000 inhabitants. Vexthor's blood ran cold as they turned onto Maple Street. The human naming conventions still baffled him, and the tracks led straight to Unit 47, the home of Akim Chen. Of course it's her, muttered Kralnix, one of the Calorthians. Everyone knew Akim. The young human woman had arrived 6 months ago as a xenobiologist, but she'd quickly gained a reputation for her reckless compassion. She'd nursed injured cliff runners, studied venomous serpents up close, and once tried to hand-feed a territorial spikeback. The other humans called her fearless. Vexthor called her suicidal. Surround the unit, he commanded. I'll make contact. As his squad took positions, Vexthor approached the door, his primary weapon raised. Through the window, he could see movement inside. Lights were on. He activated his comm unit. This is colony security to Unit 47. Akim Chen, respond immediately. This is a code red situation, no response. Just the continuation of whatever movement was happening inside. Vexthor's mandibles clicked in frustration. He override the door lock. Security protocols allowed it in emergencies, and pushed inside. Weapon first. The sight that greeted him made him freeze in the doorway. Akim stood at her small kitchen stove, wearing an oversized sweater and pajama pants, her dark hair pulled into a messy bun. She was actually humming, as she flipped something in a pan. The smell of cooking food filled the air, warm and oddly pleasant, and at her feet, sitting on a cushion like some kind of domesticated pet, was a Thrixian cub. Good morning, Sergeant, Akim called cheerfully, glancing over her shoulder. Coffee's fresh if you want some. I'm making pancakes. Vexthor's translator struggled with the concept of pancakes, but his focus was on the creature beside her. The cub was massive, already the size of a full-grown earth bear with midnight blue fur that shimmered in the kitchen light. Its 6 legs were tucked beneath its body, and it watched him with intelligent amber eyes. Chen, Vexthor said slowly, his weapon still raised. Step away from the Thrixian, slowly. Akim laughed, and flipped another pancake. Oh, you mean Luna? She's fine, Sergeant. She was lost last night. I heard her crying outside my door around midnight. Poor thing was freezing and scared. You brought a Thrixian cub into your home? Well, I couldn't just leave her out there, Akim protested, as if this was the most obvious thing in the universe. She poured golden syrup over a stack of pancakes and set the plate on the floor. The cub, Luna, immediately began eating with surprising delicacy. She's just a baby. Look at her! That baby weighs 300 kilograms and has claws that could disembowel you. She's also terrified and alone. Akim's voice softened as she crouched beside the cub, running her hand over its fur. The creature leaned into her touch, making a sound that Vexthor's translator rendered as a purr. I've been trying to figure out where she came from. The tracking collar data shows her family group is about 15 kilometers north in the mountain range. Vexthor lowered his weapon slightly, his tactical mind racing. Her mother will be searching. When she picks up the scent trail leading here, which is why I called Harry about an hour ago, Akim interrupted, standing up. He should be here any minute with the transport. We're going to take Luna back to her family. As if summoned, the door opened again. A young human male entered, tall and lean with bright red hair. Harry Mitchell, the colony's wildlife coordinator. He was carrying what looked like specialized equipment. "Morning, Vex," Harry said casually, as if walking into a room with an alien predator was normal. "Akeem, the transport's ready. I've also got the scent neutralizers to cover her trail back through the colony." "Perfect," Akeem beamed. "Luna just finished breakfast." Vexthor watched in disbelief as the two humans coordinated like this was a routine operation. Harry set up a portable containment field, while Akeem coaxed the cub into it with gentle words and more food. The creature followed her without hesitation. "You're both insane," Vexthor finally said. "Completely, utterly insane. Do you understand that you violated at least 7 colony regulations? That cub could have killed you in your sleep." Akeem looked up at him, her brown eyes reflecting something Vexthor had seen before in humans. That peculiar mixture of stubbornness and compassion that made them simultaneously infuriating and admirable. "She could have," Akeem agreed. "But she didn't because she was scared and I showed her kindness. That's what we do, Sergeant. We don't see threats first. We see living beings. That's going to get you killed one day." Harry grinned as he secured the containment field. "Maybe, but it's also why we're still here. Why the Calorthians trade with us. Why the Zephyrites trust us. Why even the Thrixians haven't attacked our colony." He hoisted the equipment. "We make friends, not enemies. Even with the scary ones." 3 hours later, Vexthor stood at a safe distance as Akeem and Harry released Luna at the edge of the Thrixian territory. The cub bounded toward the tree line where massive shapes moved in the shadows. An adult Thrixian emerged, the mother undoubtedly, and the reunion was immediate. The cub rushed forward and the mother enveloped her in a protective embrace. Then the mother looked back, directly at Akeem. For a long moment, predator and human stared at each other across the clearing. Vexthor's hand moved to his weapon, but then the Thrixian dipped her massive head, a gesture that Vexthor's xenology training recognized as acknowledgement, perhaps even gratitude, and disappeared into the forest with her cub. "Humans," Vexthor muttered, shaking his head. Akeem turned to him smiling. "Pancakes are still warm back at my place, Sergeant. You really should try them." Despite everything, despite the regulations violated, the risks taken, the sheer recklessness of it all, Vexthor found himself laughing. "These humans, these impossible, illogical, wonderful humans. Fine," he said, "but you're filing the incident report." As they walked back to the colony, Vexthor realized something. In a galaxy filled with species that led with fear and violence, humanity's greatest weapon wasn't their technology or their tactics. It was their absurd, unshakable belief that kindness could bridge any divide, even over breakfast.